Sultan. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for taking time out of your day with us. Sultan. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for taking time out of your day with us. On the 16th, I'd like to do everything goes as seamless as possible. Kindly give your mics set. And for questions, at the end of the session, we'll take questions for like 30 minutes. So please, while she's talking, just type your questions in the chat for that. Then it's treated as soon as the session is over. So without much ado, I'll just like and no questions. Time around of applause. Thank you. Two questions. Very over to you. Once you don't type the questions in the chat for that, then you can so So without much ado, I will share my screen. I have been introduced. And because I've been introduced, I believe that there's also extensive audience to get more information. And that's perhaps at the end of the session. So we're going to go right inside the program. I will share my screen with you right now. If you have questions, please just make sure you type
Where would you get it out? So we find one of the rather than compare the same to the people side.
Good afternoon, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Omola, thank you so much.
different and that's now, it goes different levels. Someone gets here and you are different levels. And we are convinced that the person is handing one person is why the page is on you, from the page is on you. The mindset is that you don't something to the person that will bring you. I only want to please buy the fund around on the lap of me. Then you break on this lap, you do a lot. Then, if I want, you can really see that you will provide. Now, you have to find it, now, very basic. So, who are not this thing, at the same thing, who from their phone, that is very necessary. What so you tell me out of so that was Spanish. Yes, I was not done, but I think about 30 and
on Amazon. On their own. I don't know how this your system works. So. I want to write. Like meeting with
It's not a system. It's with the abuse of the system.
They really type like this, so say I will not draw this. Or through my system, not this one. I would like get CPMS. I'll come and do it on your screen.
Then I don't really now, I've also done over 50 megapixels. What I joined as free, it's totally 50 million. You get what I'm saying? So one is now that will tell you that for in total, approximately 5 million. of the care is private. What's like going to 6 million? So what you're only paying for is 5 million. You understand? So total number of individuals to buy under this your source. Right? Total number of individuals buying under this source. Yes. But they can run 30 tests. You understand? Rule that can be treated under this one now is when you look at go like look there, you see this opportunity. But because of this one, this there's always an advantage. But someone to take the bed, to be on the bed, only 2 beds.
about anytime you're applying for this, what has happened is that and what you want to do there are many jobs that you are and when I say one place, after you go down that one place also now that we are let me want the interpersonal skills and the technical of life. Because even once like chat, so by the time those are somehow as part at the end of this webinar, I will think that the next
When you're updating the information, I have to say, because what I actually do was that I downloaded this PML database. I'll wait for it to apply.
Who really believes in that? Maybe make some background for that kind of exposure. So you will have to understand what works for the person. But whatever you call respect, it's your own definition. If you are dealing with people, you need to understand what they think respect is. To be honest with you, you need to let them understand what they think respect is. Some people, you are coming, if you say please in your bag, you are showing their respect. As a matter of fact, even if you don't know the job, when promotion comes, they will rather promote you than the other person is doing well. Why? They're carrying the bag, and that's what they want. And there are some people who say, no, leave my bag, is my own. What about that? It doesn't matter. So there's not a serious demarcation between how you play and how the other person wants it. Most of the what happens is you have a little point where you know what.
So because we send our
personal clients with gossip, all those things, you don't need to do that to anybody's respect. Just be true to yourself, to thyself be true, and look at what it is that is permissible within proper standard value to keep to the positive. Number 16, I'd like to tell you, in addition to what you already know about personal skills, is intentionality. Most of the things that happen in the world or in the workplace, no matter the level where you find yourself, whether you're a starter or you're in the middle or you're at the very ladder, you know that personal skills does not just mean wise for you, not always. It may also be employee also knowing how to manage the team, how to be able to make them function effectively, what works for this person, what does not work for the other person. There are some people that are easily distracted. And you see, one of the things that you must put in your mind is that you can't fix people. The person you will fix is you. Every time you try to fix anybody, your spouse, your boss, your subordinate, you will meet frustration. What you will do is, how am I able to navigate the kind of person that this person is? And how am I able to succeed at achieving my purpose legitimately without violating the proper value of integrity? That's the question you need to ask yourself. So you have to be intentional. You will not expect them to come and be the one to come and meet you, or the one to come and give the result to you, or whatever. Sometimes when you give instruction, maybe you are the boss, or the manager, or the supervisor, and it appears as if the communication is not clear. Sometimes you will expect that they should come back and get more feedback. Let's not assume that does not happen. As a manager, you have to be intentional. Please confirm that this is what I said. That is when you will be shocked at the way they will relate your own message back to you. You say, no, I didn't say so. So for you to achieve the personal relationship or the personal skills, you must put intentionality in front of you. You have to be intentional. You are the one that wants to get the job done. You are the one that wants to get the promotion. Whatever benefit you want to have, playing in this space of interpersonal skills, you are going to have to be intentional about it. Number 7 thing I will add to what you know already is self-awareness. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are your values? What irritates you? What gives you energy? There are people that and it doesn't mean that the loudest people are the most excellent people. Some of them are just naturally loud. Sometimes they will give you good points that you are going to use. And there are some people that are very quiet. You have to bring them out, by some kind of method for them to deliver value to you. So you have to be sure of what you can do and what you can handle. There is no point being an ant and wanting to walk on the floor. The legs are designed for the floor. The hands are designed for the washing. The eyes are designed for seeing. Yes, are designed for
those ones are
all of those functions together in a team. They deliver the purpose of movement. So if you are not behind,
Process
don't assume everybody else should be like that you are. Why can't you person who are quiet? Some people are quiet and achievers. Some people are smart and they are also very vocal and they look at it. Some people are vocal but they don't deliver. So you yourself personally, who are you? Do you like it hot and spicy? Do you like it cool and quiet? If you cannot define you become lost. Because then you will be seeing everybody.
And they run.
You want to see everybody quiet.
But the runs are
you want to see everybody forward and they can't move forward. So you have to first define
carry cutlass
and define what influence or what is your energy. If you know what is your energy, you will be able to partner more with those who boost your energy. And that's how interpersonal skills will help you. The idea is not just to be self-centered, it's to force us to from your mind, there's some people that you better do with them together. You cannot cope with maybe the way the verbal conversation will go, and then you follow up with phone call. There are some that physically they like it when you go there, they will even show you on the laptop. This is how to use this function on it. So you know these are people that you will physically engage and you will deliver value. So you should understand what you want out of any relationship, even in the workplace, either to your superior or to your subordinate. Number 8, interpersonal skills is all about relationships, nothing outside relationships. When you say interpersonal, so I'm talking about beings. We're not talking about computers. If you are somebody like you like to in those previous worlds, just take on my own. I had to learn it along the line as I began to progress in my career. So it's about relationships, and it's not limited to those in the office. If you are dealing with supplier, you get the best one. If you are dealing with your customers, what do you do differently to ensure that between you and the next person, you always deliver results? Now, interpersonal skills, number 9, is something you have to daily practice. It is not something you start now and you can drop. No, you must be intentional. You must practice it daily, and then you will be able to know perfect better. So that the topic before me says interpersonal skills is what has changed. In those days, there are 2 pictures right here before you. This was the way we used to work. We would work before we stayed at home for long now. People look at our share.
This is participate.
But my right here, you can do some meetings for everything else. In fact, if you want to review the document, you can be virtual and remote. Now, when you are now listening working, what are you supposed to do? The first thing you need to do, you are no longer informed, and if you are still going to the office physically, that's fine. You may have to also understand whether you have to do with vendor or a customer or a boss who is not in town. You need to now start navigating and readjust your mindset. And the way we used to work before, you cannot put punctuality and commands and reason and say punctual. What is punctual? You have to be defined the punctuality. It's no longer 9 to 5, we are in 7:30 because not like they're not getting it. People wake up now, brush their teeth, and they're in front of the computer, so I can want punctuality. And it's just, physical mentor is when somebody will show you what, you don't know how to use this bullet, then you put their word. So they then message this. The new world of work now is we do more of emailing, we do more of virtual. We have things like electric, we have things like machines. So somehow, human beings are turning to fire machines. So that has placed a lot of challenges right now. And that's why I think the personal skills is a very critical topic to continue to explore. There should be version 1, version 2, version 3 of this. So at this point, if you are thinking interpersonal skills is not relevant, or what is the matter, why are we shouting interpersonal skills? I just want to remind us that for you, what you're going to gain is you gain visibility in front of those who should put you forward. By the time they are looking for who to promote, it ceases to be who is serving tea in the office anymore. It ceases to be who is first at the door to say good morning, sir. Now that you're not doing that, you need to now know how to develop confidence even remotely. And how do you do that? Ensure that you are always asking questions when you are not playing. Don't go and investing all this in an assignment that you will still come back and you are clear that you haven't done the right thing. And at the end of the day, if you cannot manage human beings now, your bosses, your superior, or even your subordinates, the promotion in itself is something that everybody looks forward to at any point in time. When they place 1 month, 2 months, 6 years, 3 years, you are looking forward to cooking. So now I'm recognized as a single person. Now that you are working in your house and your focus is somewhere else, how do you ensure that you can network in a manner that you are visible for promotion? That's what I mean. So interpersonal skills is what you need to continue to build up. You need now to be able to improve on your writing skills in a way that you are simple, you are clear, you are direct. Interpersonal skills for you when you begin to learn more, give you opportunity to build your relationships better. You cannot be misunderstood, and your career will grow, and you will not work under stress, and you continue to learn and learn. The common thing that doing work does for you is that every time you do something new, you become better at it. For the organization, by the time your interpersonal skills is one problem, you're going to have improved productivity. You know, people begin to work smarter. Because then the cost is there is no toxic relationship. The fact that you are in one location, the other person is in one location, by the time interpersonal skills have become very, very, very mastered, people deliver results. And at the end of the day, what do? The whole people, the whole team, the whole company benefits. The company benefits from good branding because you're able to deliver to your customers. You're able to hit your promise of the vendors. You're able to make the shareholders happy. You're able to avoid government coming after them. You are working remotely, yes, but the government is auditing you, or you have tax things to do, or you have documentation to submit. And by working with people properly and achieving results, you get good branding. Your companies begin to move fast. You get your result done. You have employee loyalty. You have no turnover. When people are happy, they don't want to leave. And then you save cost on recruitment, you save cost on having to replace people too prematurely. Now, why are we having this conversation? Interpersonal skills in the new world of work demands that we learn new and proactive methods of using our strengths, of deploying our talent, of making ourselves visible, of doing things in a way that the fact that you are somewhere physically different does not mean that you are missed in the room. Does not mean that when performance appraisal happens, you say, we don't know what they are doing. So these are just tips that you probably know before, that you have to do more now that we are now working newly in the new world of work. When you are not there, you are not there. Nobody sees you when you take water and drink. So now this is about my last slide. What are we going to be doing differently now that the new world of work has started? Number one, we have to make decisions because what will happen is we to think that, oh, let it happen. The days that we work 9 to 5, we will ensure that if I don't finish this assignment, I don't go. Some of them will be there till 8 p.m., 9 p.m. to solve the problem. Overtime is involved, everything is involved. Now, when you're dealing with people who are in the house and are struggling to explain to their children why they cannot attend to them, but mommy, you are here, answer my question. So you should know that there is a lot of balancing to be done. And so therefore, when you are expecting things from either your superior or your younger people or those who are supporting you, you will have a moderate expectation. Yes, they will deliver, but you don't want to be disappointed. It will be the same level. Hopefully, that some people will move forward and deliver more. But if your expectation is moderate, it will give you a less, apprehensive situation to manage. Number two, now that you are working remotely, now that you are apart, what do? You practice the golden rule. And what's the golden rule? Do to others as you have them do to you. If you are the subordinate and you are asked to produce a document, do something, go somewhere, achieve your result. If you are not able to, normally, if you are the one expecting from somebody on Tuesday afternoon and the person has not come back to you when it's evening, you begin to feel, what's the matter? So the meaning is turn the table round. And also, if you are the other person at the other hand, you're expecting something from someone they are not gotten to you, just step out of your own comfort zone and say, fine, what if I don't want to be in the stream of here? I don't know what this person needs. How am I going to make sure that I have enough feedback to ensure that this person is fine? And looking, oh, hello, Nagaja, where are you? And why is this not done? Can I have the feedback on where you are on this matter? So whichever way, and because most times it's not the people at the peak, and not the ones looking for how to come. So most times we will direct this conversation mostly to people who are still climbing the ladder. So most times when you expect that something should be done and it's not done, you will not be happy. So the important thing is for you to be vulnerable with your employer or your boss. if you're having a bad day, you are sick or you're not well. Because there's no possibility for them to see that your eyes are red. In the office when you came, somebody saw that your eyes are red and they go, Sandra, what happened? Say, I had a headache. I won't go to the hospital. So it's easy. When you're in the house, you have a headache, nobody knows. So you have to speak up. You have to speak up. Number 3 thing I would like to drop with you is that you need to essentially become a person of value. Remote working should not take away efficiency. Remote working should not take away effectiveness. Remote working should not take away the fact that you are productive and you're delivering results. If you're a person of value, you are the first beneficiary. Because whatever you deliver speaks of you, and anywhere you go, the first introduction to you is what you are doing. This person that is the chartered accountant, this person that is that. So when you're a person of value, you become better. If you leave your workplace today, the best you give to them is your ID card. Every knowledge you gain, every experience you acquire, every skill you develop, all of them together are added to your person. They become the reason you are better in the next workplace than you were before you started the previous one. So please, let us embrace value. Number 4 thing I'll give with us is that we can do differently going forward is to become people, people that has learner's mindset. Everything keeps changing. Everything keeps changing. Everything keeps changing. Don't expect that they used to unfold you and give you this shot and give you that. This is the best way to do. Sometimes some things will be thrown at you. Learn. Go on LinkedIn, find out who has done it before. Go on Google, find out who has done it before. So that by the time you are submitting, because it's not a matter of 2 people sitting around the table and discussing the thing, it's now almost like you walking alone. So you have to develop a learner's mindset. You need to be able to ask intentional questions when people feel better and then take it from there. Number 15, I'd like to do with us as we continue this new world of working is empathy. Empathy does not mean sympathy. Empathy is being able to see through the lens of the other person. It's being able to see, somebody has done something and it's not completely correct, entirely correct. So you understand? You first ask the question, but why did you do it this way? By the time you understand the basic and the rationale, it will be easy for you to relate to the person. Okay, fine, but you can do it better. So empathy becomes much more, important at this season. Number 16, I need with you is to do the opposite of what you wish. If you wish somebody should follow up on you, you should be the one to follow up on that person. You're expecting and they have not called you. Why not just call? So, like I said again, you can't fix anybody, you can only fix you. So, seek active and regular feedback. Take personal responsibility for what you're doing. Be open to amendment. Be human and vulnerable. Let people know if you're not there, you're not feeling good. Let them know. Know what to engage, know what to avoid. If you know something will waste your time or waste your energy, either dealing with people or dealing with the assignment, try and quickly make the judgment call between what you want to continue and what you want to disrupt. So you must develop that skill intentionally. What do I engage, what do I avoid? You will also need to be a bit more visible, although not forward. The visible is that if you have done something, positively brag about it. What I mean is, I have just completed XYZ. These are the methods that I employed, and I got assistance from XYZ, and at the end of the day, this was delivered before the deadline. If you have all of those records, the time will come that you will speak to people about okay, who is supposed to be at the next level. Because at that time, it's no longer who came to the office first. It is now your work speaking for you. So you must be intentionally disciplined, even with what you're doing. If you are supposed to be at a meeting virtually, sure, 5 minutes before the meeting, and lock it, be there. And then when you are in a meeting, start the topic if you have the agenda beforehand, and make meaningful contributions. Ask intelligent questions. And you can also throw more light into that. Say, well, I actually read up something about this concept. It says this. Is that what you're trying to achieve? So when you are all sure that your mind is on what you're doing, people begin to notice you differently from when you're in the office and you're going to another place. This is no longer what happens anymore. So you have to be but not being forward. So the last thing I'm going to do in this session is keep reading about your interpersonal skills. Keep reading about your subject matter. Keep reading about psychology. Keep reading about how to navigate the new world of work, because it's a thing that is part of our generation. We found ourselves into it. Now, the children children are not doing schools online.
I'm doing it here.
Primary school, secondary school. They now do
Same
online.
experience.
Somehow they are able to get something just came on the scene. So read more, listen to healthy conversation about what happened in China was not Ghana. Because when you discover that the water
Why they told you that system?
If you have to make it, personal skills. And that's why the discussion today. I want you to set your questions ahead to us. Let us see if there are issues, maybe practical issues with what is more like there are things that are in presentation that you require further explanation. So I turn it over to my host to take us further in this discussion and webinar today.
Thank you so very much, Deborah. I mean, it was really mind-blowing. And one of the points that really hit me was when you talked about new interpersonal skills. I mean, you mentioned punctuality. I mean, what is punctuality? What you said it right now. A lot of us are working from home. So it's the work you are actually doing that's going to speak for you. It's not like, oh, I clock in at 7:30, I'm the first person I'm working on. That's not going to be factors that they're going to be looking at right now at the workplace. It's going to be what you're actually doing. I mean, there's no greeting, good morning, man, good morning, house, stuff like that. There's nothing like, okay, who's going to bring tea for me? Somebody's trying to do eye service, in quotes, I mean, it's going to be your work now that's going to speak for you. So things are changing, and like you said, you need to step up. You need to learn the new ways things are being done right now. And I have some questions. So to the participants, please kindly just drop in your questions in the chat box. Then I will treat it one after the other. So my first question is that for me, I learned this skill 2 years ago. What they call self-awareness. You mentioned something like that. You mentioned it actually when you were doing your presentation. And it can be detrimental really to an individual's productivity and effectiveness in the workplace. You need to be self-aware. You need to know who you are and what you are doing. And I actually had to learn this skill about 2 years ago. So it's very, very important. Not just at home. Relating to people. I would really like to talk more about that topic and more about the consequences that you are likely to face if you lack really self-awareness. It's actually a very major point when you're talking about emotional intelligence. So I just really want to talk about, some of the consequences that you're likely to face if you lack that skill called self-awareness in the workplace, in the new workplace. Okay, that's
This one, no, not
self-awareness to say self-awareness.
I don't understand how. What do you call it? Yeah, they're right.
Some people are around so everybody is a contributor to the team effectively. So if you are self-aware, you'll be able to add value properly. If you have a particular, you can be down, you can be too low, you can be forward, you can be whatever, you can be relaxed. Somebody who likes to listen a lot and then allow the work you are doing to speak for you. So self-awareness gives you the energy, the self-confidence. So that by the time your mate or your colleague or your team member is achieving or is everywhere in the face of everybody, it will not bother you.
It will not bother you. You have to find your own unique strength with which you are going to win. So if somebody is loud and and then it's everywhere and all that, and you're not self-aware, you become easily threatened. So not being self-aware takes away your confidence, takes away energy. You can also have stress. Trying to keep up and cope with somebody else's energy. The person's energy may be top, might be very good already. If you put that person in a place of power point and say, make a presentation, the person will be over. So when you're in a team or in your company and you are self-aware of your skills, energy, and strength, it helps you to deliver your value and to brag about it. So when somebody comes around and talks and says, well, you know what I'm going to do, all that you're saying now, I'm going to put in the PowerPoint slide, I'm going to put this in one together. So you're able to win with your unique strength. That's what awareness does. Not to know this is to understand what is under stress, coping. Trying to with everybody. And even if you are trying to negotiate time with your employer or employee or whoever, and say, please, can I get this in 2 hours? And you know you can't get it in 2 hours. When you are self-aware, you tell them, you know what, I can't give it in 2 hours. But first thing tomorrow you get it. Why? Because you know in the night and just come to you. You know in the night your hands are strong. You know in the night your brains come sharper. And when you deliver it, first time, second time like that.
We will let them see, but
You say enter what?
You trust that whatever she delivers, you have nothing to protect. And that's what's about business. If you don't have self-awareness, you will perpetually come to stress. And at the end, it's too difficult to promote yourself or to promote energy. So that's not just
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, I mean, I've identified some of those. I've been able to build my self-awareness to a level that I know that by 7 p.m. I'm shut down. You can't really do anything so serious. So, it's very important. So that when you give a deadline, you know that you're giving a deadline. You know that, you know what, I can't do that this time. Okay, one more question for me before I take questions from the participants. Okay, so I mean, you've said something about virtual meetings. Yeah, it's the new normal. However, I believe that there's still a need for genuine human connection and understanding. There's still that need. So I don't know, as line managers, probably let's look at line managers right now. How do we ensure absolute clarity and our virtual meetings and email communication, and to ensure that we are clear? Some people, they may actually be looking at you and they're not really getting what you're saying. So how do you ensure that it's absolutely clear at our meetings and email communication? Because we do a lot of that these days.
Okay, so I will just wrap everything up.
Is that how
I can explain in my presentation? If you are the manager, now that we're facing the managers, you have to be intentional about it. If you want maximum effectiveness, you want to schedule a meeting at 2 p.m. and send out the invite at 12 or the notification at 12. Because number one, you know that sometimes some people have that issue. They don't want to be prepared. So what's important is that you need to think ahead. Now that does not rule out the fact that emergencies can happen and people will split suddenly. But as much as it's available, the best that the line manager can get from the individual is the level to which that person is prepared. So if you want to have a topic around sex maximization, how do we reach our customer during COVID, how do we navigate our logistics of transportation, or we have some vendors that are not delivering and they are, having default days, how do we ensure there's no, because whatever you're going to deliver or discuss should be around the business, the core of what you're doing, whether you're in the procurement department, finance department, you're in tax, or you are in the logistics or health and safety. So if you can, and as much as you think ahead, plan ahead, you can even start the topics and ask your team members to contribute. Because now there's a demand of them to contribute, they are going to put their thoughts and perspective in writing. Then you can, from that, understand their reading. You can read their mind. Maybe you have a topic for either the meetings for educational purpose, maybe you want to set performance or KPI, or about work outputs. Have you met your target and you don't? Do a small write-up and say, you don't it out to them, say on Monday, this meeting will happen on Thursday. What have you done? You have prepped them. They may not immediately go to work researching on Monday or Tuesday. But But at least they have told themselves, mentally that they have an assignment before that meeting. And they give them a task before that meeting. That each of you is expected to come with 4 practical ways that we can serve our customers better. Or 4 practical ways that we can respond to this FIRS query. Or 4 practical ways by which we can deal with this vendor, that delay our job. Or you're in the construction industry, there will always be an object of discussion. But to sit back and expect that I can show up for meeting, I can call them, they must come. You will get something, but you will not get the best. Because they will hold you the respect to come to that meeting, but they will not be the best. So try and prepare them so that those who are working during the day and those who like to do it during the night, they will like use the season between your notification and the actual meeting to prepare. So you have to be intentional about that. And you also throw teasers out. By the time you are doing the meeting, allow the meeting to be open. Let the meeting be, let it be a meeting that allows minds to grow. It will be a meeting that one person is talking. Give them opportunity to give you feedback. Even if you don't have the person, just tell them what did you pick from this meeting and what's our action point. At the point of action points, you hear things like you say, no, I didn't say that. You yourself, you tell them, I never said so. So you're able to clarify their point and keep the communication continuous. Somebody who went blank during the meeting may have a fantastic idea 2 hours after. And tell them this conversation continues. They send you your information at any time as you want it. I think that's going to get the best out of the virtual meeting. Plus, you will also give them encouragement to give you calls. Because sometimes when you're in the formal meeting in the office, after the meeting, somebody can walk up to you and explain things to you. But now that you're not physically together, you need to have opportunity to also harness the benefits of afterthoughts. But after that meeting, man, I actually just thought this and this can work. So throw it out there and tell them, please give me a call if there's anything to the contrary or something better that we can do. If you leave that open, then the one confidence to approach you and then give you information about what you require. To me, they are just very simple with a personal skill set that we can use. Be open, be honest, allow them to give feedback and be intentional, plan ahead, think ahead, and give them opportunity to go and develop action plans for whatever you want to do.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much for that, explanation. Yeah, it's really, very self-explanatory. Okay, so we're throwing the floor open right now. So I'm going to be taking questions from the participants. From Mr. Polari Alonso. Okay, you asked, how do you relate personal skills to emotional intelligence? Because the two are dealing with people. Okay, ma. So it's like asking, how do you relate personal skills to emotional intelligence? So I'll just let the expert answer the question.
Okay, so interpersonal skills, to me, I would say this is subset. Emotional intelligence is a big basket, and there are many things in there. It is with your emotions, it is with your feelings, your will, your desire. It's a full basket, and it's a mother concept. Now, interpersonal skills to play in that space, because with self-awareness, I believe, is also a function or a department in emotional intelligence. So if you want to talk about self-awareness or interpersonal skills or all of those, you'll be referring to children of one mother, and the mother is emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question?
I believe so. You can also chat in, Mr. Folari, if that has answered the question. So we're moving forward. From happiness, is soft skills part of its personal skills or a broader concept?
Okay, so soft skills, as I see it, is also like a broader concept. Interpersonal skills is part of soft skills. Soft skill is anything that is not technical. If you're hired to be an engineer, you know your job technically. The soft skills are the aspect of effective communication. How do you teach other people what you're doing, or explain what you're doing, or submit to a report, or deal with people working with you, either in a higher capacity or a lower capacity? How do you ensure that you show respect to people, even if demanding for results? You show them respect. They are supposed to submit to you, but they are not submitting. Maybe I understand why. Because soft skills is the general word you use for many things. So everything of your core technical skills is called a soft skill, and interpersonal skills is like this.
Okay. Also from Mr. Polari, he said key performance indicators in the new workplace will definitely be different, definitely from what was in the old workplace. I can say that. So what do you think are the major KPIs in workplace, and what do you suggest to people to adjust? What do you suggest people to adjust to? Or how do you suggest people adjust to it? So, I mean, it says that the KPIs are different now. I know you talked about that. So, what do you think are the major KPIs now in the workplace, and how do people adjust to that?
Like I mentioned, we can't get to what now works around town. How do we meet targets? Your targets can decide people in a business. Or whatever. Always targets are and I'm supposed to monitor the quantity of people to ensure that everybody that wants to assist the farmers and affect. Now, it's my job, as the manager of that section, to say, turn around time for resolving, you understand, so whether you're working physically or you're in your house, you have to run the level of proper monitor to ensure that once the bank goes down, because what happens to the communication. So I would say one, you should see the CSM process factor of the job. What is the job role supposed to be about? Because not everybody is going to get it. If you are supposed to prepare back the consultation statement as a staff, maybe you're an accounting person, whether you're physically in the office or not, if you say third working day after the month closed, obtain bank statement and reconcile together. What I want to do is make sure that it's all not working. Right. So turn around time, your critical success factors for that job is what they will use right now. They can't use somebody is no. Those two things, when you build your factors around those two principal and broad concepts, you will find a lot of KPIs to develop from there. Because it will be different from one job role to the other.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Please, if you have more questions, kindly just chat and let us have your questions. I have another one. So, respectful treatment of employees, is a top factor contributing to employee job satisfaction. So, but what are the various ways line managers can show respect to their team members and vice versa? Sorry, I'm hammering on line managers because I believe the oil flows from the top down. So, so one is respect. Respect means different things in different places. You're coming from the Western Nigerian, for example, if you can reflect, even before the person hears your language, it's already feeling respected. You say another, you say, good morning, man, the way you do. But there are some people, that's not just their thing. There are some tribes that don't do that, and it doesn't mean they disrespect you. So, the definition of respect will be different from person to person. However, what's important is the use of language, courtesy. Because when you learn to use please, when you learn to use excuse me, when you learn to say and give genuine credit, you will be honored and respected. Whether you call them Mr. So or first name or Mr. So or last name, doesn't matter anymore. So you are not something, thank you very much for that contribution. Even if you disagree, that's the thank you. Because there's an effort in putting your thinking cells to work to say something. Somebody say, what is that? It's just nonsense. You may not get it, but he has made an effort. So genuine appreciation for efforts made. Even though the result has not come. I know managers are usually impatient because you're asking me about that manager. They're impatient. We just want to get a result. Is this all you have done? After 4 days, so we have to put our head in check. And that's when I think it comes in to say, genuine credit for efforts made. Oh, you've done your bit. However, my expectations are as follows. And you align. So the way you treat the person feels okay. You can tell somebody is stupid, but in the language that the person will not get angry. That's how to be respectful. And it will make so many things. So give genuine credit, appreciate people, and make allowance for errors. People will make errors. If they knew it at the beginning,
they will not require your assistance. So the way to show respect to people is to make them feel comfortable with their mistakes and still show them how to do better. That's the way that managers can do it. So to find the patience to accommodate the lapses that have been presented to you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I hope you're not going to bog me down with so many questions because they just keep coming. Okay, so where does this is from? Okay, there's no name here. So where does assertiveness come in interpersonal relations? Where does assertiveness come?
Assertiveness comes in being visible. When you are assertive does not mean aggressive. Assertive means maintaining your position and putting it forward, and that's another word that is visibility. Now, you've done something and you're sure about it. Put your words behind your action. You understand? Put your words behind your actions. Maybe you have done a report and maybe for certain reasons people do not appreciate it. I keep saying report because I'm a report person. Or maybe you are an engineer or whatever, or a medical circle. There will always be a reason behind what you have done. So give yourself the confidence to explain the reasons for your action. That is what assertive is. So in a personal relationship, it does not mean you will swallow it or you will throw it. No, it's what we call brag on your efforts. In fact, while standing you can say, I am happy this has been concluded. It took me about 4 hours to achieve this result. It doesn't mean that result is the best thing. But you are trying to show yourself, in the face of your reviewer. So let them know that you have done, something that you consider as your own best. It does not mean that the report will not come back to you corrected. So you are assertive in that direction. And then number 2 way to show assertiveness is when the point of the other person contradicts your points. Respectfully listen. Because the truth about it is, somebody has to be intentional about it. You want to talk, I want to talk. Somebody has to, otherwise there is no communication. They have become barbarians. So you have to be intentional about allowing the person to tell you his own mind free. What was he expecting? What was that the person wanted to see? And if it is say, oh, actually, I am just getting the right clarity to what you're saying. As a matter of fact, this was my initial thought. So put the voice behind what you have done. Let it show that you were not stupid. Let it show that you didn't just go destroying nonsense. Let it show respect to this person. Oh, actually, this was my understanding and I went like that. In the future, I will clarify the first party. You have been assertive. So the person who came with the bringing came to come and case, we also see from other television that you might just be mindful of what does the other person read from the thing that I'm about to do. So that's to play. It's also part of the interpersonal skills and it should always be employed all the time. Otherwise, people are just pushing you aside and let's do like the best.
Okay, I like this next question from Comfort to Winnie, which is something I've observed as well. So she said to be observed that virtual meetings are more energy sapping. What are the likely causes of this? And how can this situation be managed?
Virtual meetings are energy sapping because it's new to us. And it's not as if it has not been happening before in some places. For example, Zoom has been around for so long. But our mindset is that we have been in a space where people meet face to face. So by the time we become used to it, there's nothing to change. Our whole body is fighting and everything, but at the end of the day, when you settle with it, just like it later. By the time it becomes the only acceptable means of holding meetings, forget that energy stuff. Whatever you want to do to boost your energy, tell yourself, buy yourself a positive like in and change. Put it in there. And sometimes you can turn on the video and throw it in your mouth. I do it sometimes. I did a meeting very recently. I just moment you said, can we take it breakfast before the meeting starts? And I cannot come abroad there. So I just put my food beside and I was eating it. So that I give the meeting my maximum concentration. So find what works for you. Either eat it before you start the meeting or put a cup of water next to you or a juice or a drink or something. It's part of self-awareness. Some of us are not used to sitting down, just sitting down talking to computer is not just kind of distance your participation. If you say energy silence, I will support you in that discussion, but actually it's not anything to worry about because you're getting busy. By the time you're used to it, it doesn't matter to me.
Exactly. So I had a meeting as well with my lead consultant this morning. I mean, when I saw that this one is going to be a long thing, I had to go and do a cup of coffee and I had to take. So that's what works for me, really. So just, like you said, learn what works for you and what to make you most effective and efficient. So I'll take another question from. Okay, sorry, this is a bit long. Okay, good afternoon, Ma. The presentation was brought in about thank you. What can someone do when you are having to certificate your business? They do think based on instructions after I'm giving instructions and what to do for the day. So I think it's asking when you're having to certificate your business. Can you repeat that question? Sorry, Adebanjo Genga. Or do you understand that? I think I understand. What is trying to say? You have a step-by-step approach to do it. You will have to tell them step 1 and then come back to step 2 and then come back and wait for you continuously. It's almost like two of you are co-working. That's what is trying to say. And like I said in the last presentation, I said now that we're doing virtual working, you have to have a moderate expectation of it. It means one of us, and we all react to it differently. So it's a different thing to apply the same thing. And then you say, no, that's not what I said, move like this, go like that. So when you're working with somebody whose level of competence is not where you expect it to be, you still have to employ the same method. If the person is far away from you, maybe because of lockdown, and you expect them to take something from point A to B, you may have to hold your phone in your hand. That's the replacement for being there physically. And then Susan or whatever the name is. When you get to this place that has a yellow signboard, stop and flash your phone. Because you have told the person in the school sat. The meaning is that he has not acquired so many skills along the way. Maybe he's a starter and he's still trying to learn your method. So you will have to be patient more in this new world of work, where your staff is not beside you. You have to hold your phone. It's an extra cost, but you have to be ready to do it. Otherwise, assess the cost versus the benefit of keeping that person. If you think it's not worth the while, you may have to go for somebody else who can run at the speed that's required. But that judgment call will be absolutely yours. What do you want? Do you want to be able to guide this particular staff to do the job effectively for you? Or do you want somebody who you will keep the seat and you will come back with a tree? You will now assess capacity. Can this person do it? If you cannot do it, you are going to have stress. And there's no point in saying, you already said this strategy. You can't expect to do it. There's no point. Thank you so very much, Ron. So let me take this question from Happiness Alpha. How do you deal with subordinates who uses lack of data, low battery, due to power outage and poor network to meet targets almost any time while working remotely? So, I mean, it's like that person, if I understand, is always using all this. Okay, there's no light, no battery, blah, as an excuse not to meet these our target.
You know, these are all real-time issues. Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't know what I'm trying to do. Said that before, or I didn't perform. Because you need to understand the history. If it's just talking about data now for the first time, before this whole remote working started, how are you the ask to the person to work? If you are not effective on top of the game, then you can give the person the benefit of the doubt and ask, what can I do to help you? And that's not for your part. In my last slide, I said, going forward, this ability to be empathy. I promise you, data in some places in Lagos or anywhere can be frustrating, and that is the truth. A few minutes ago, I called them and I said, some people have been calling me and asking me, they can't register, they cannot trade, they love the website. They didn't love the website, it was just their data. So it might be that the person is saying the truth. And you will have to have some bit of empathy to say, you know what, if your environment is not okay, what can we do together? Can you at least also season or so season what I'm going to have, or can you just go to maybe a friend's house and discover somebody in the environment that the network is a bit stronger? Can you try and go there? Because it has happened to me before. I have a colleague, or I still have a colleague. Once we are doing meeting, the data will throw him out. He will come in and come out, about 7 days of frustrating. He was locked down, but he needed to do the meeting. So another day will say, can I come to you? I say, fine, just come. My data here is better and works faster. And the person will come, will be so busy, don't even know them, will continue to converse and will do the meeting and all that. You can step into the shoes of the person. Understand the plan.
That's understood. I didn't like it.
So
That's my work. I didn't like it.
I stopped sharing my screen.
That's gone out.
Actually, I don't know to.
This whiteboard, of that whiteboard.
I used to is it is to write no.
It's not there. Cancel.
Stop sharing. Should I make where's the she's the one that will be yours.
Okay, but
But will I be able to record?
yes, no.
I have to start recording.
Recording now. Make a co-host. What does she want to do? It's not to share screen.
Hi, can I test my video as well?
Yes. Yes, we are doing it. We've done it.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's your day going? Okay, my name is Omolola Ajayi, and I'm very happy to be your host today on this session, and this session of the Efficiency Factory in October. So I want to be sure I'm not talking to myself. I'd like everyone to just unmute your mics very briefly, and let me know you can hear me. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Can hear you.
Good afternoon.
Hear you loud.
Good afternoon, Omolola.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My day is fantastic. So I want to be sure I'm not talking to myself. I'd like everyone to just mute your mic very briefly. And good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Okay. I think we can start now. Thank you. My day is fantastic. So I'm gonna log off for just 5 minutes, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Omolola Ajayi, and I'm very happy to be your host today once again. And we're going to get right down to business right now. So I'm going to talk briefly about why we are here today. And our facilitator is ready, very ready for us. I'm hearing a lot of noises. Please, can you mute your mics, everyone? Please mute your mics. Thank you very much. So briefly, the Efficiency Factory is a platform powered by GODP Consulting. At GODP, we are a firm of professionals with experience, expertise, and technology. So what we do is we make businesses all around the world more efficient, self-sufficient, and profitable. So if you are participating at this webinar for the very first time, the Efficiency Factory was created to give back and create a community of like-minded professionals who want to continually learn. And our objective at the Efficiency Factory is enhancing workforce and workplace efficiency through continuous discourse and engagement. And today, like you all know, the topic before us is the efficient rewards management. So we'll be looking at how you can create an efficient reward system and management. How do you create and implement reward strategies? So should you actually involve your people when creating strategic reward systems? So our facilitator, Konyisola, is here already. and I'm going to talk about her very briefly before she starts. And then I'll give some ground rules. So, Koinsola Aderemi Mba is a highly self-motivated and result-oriented person who adds value by participating in development and management of an organization's human capital by identifying and enhancing the strengths and talents in the company's employees in order to ensure an engaged workforce and organizational goals are achieved. So currently, Koinsola works at Flour Mills Nigeria PLC as a rewards manager, and she's responsible for performance management, rewards. So when we talk about rewards, we're talking about compensation and benefits, employee engagement policy, design, implementation across the group. So prior to this, Koinsola has worked as an HR business partner in manufacturing and commercial, supporting business unit leaders to drive business objectives through their people. She's an expert with organization design and job evaluation. Some ground rules: please keep your mics muted, to avoid so many noises. I'll take questions at the end of the session. So what I want you to do is please type in your questions at the chat box. When the session is over, when Koinsola is through with her presentation, we'll take questions. Thank you very much. Hi, Koinsola.
Hi, Lola. Good afternoon. I hope everybody can hear me clearly.
I can hear you.
Great.
I don't know about the participants. I hope you cannot hear her.
Okay, so I'm
Hi, everybody.
that's
Can
yes.
you hear Koi?
Yes.
Great. All right. So I would just be going through a conversation about efficient reward management as quickly as possible so that we can go into questions, because I usually believe that engagement is, talking to each other is more important and we get more value from it. But basically what I'm doing is building a foundation into the discussion that we're going to have today. So what we're basically talking about is rewards management and doing it right, doing it properly. What's important? We're not talking about just paying salaries, which is what most people think rewards is, handling payroll, giving people money for work that they've done, But we're trying to talk about what we need to have when we're talking about building an efficient reward system, what needs to be considered, and what the business needs to do to set that in place. So first of all, what are we talking about? Like I said, rewards is not just paying salaries, not just saying, oh, take 100 Naira, come and type these documents for me, or take this amount and come and receive calls for me. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement that ensures that the employer gets value from the employee. So I am paying you for your value, and you also are getting that value in cash from me to deliver results. At the end of the day, the goal is business results. So it's not just about, look, I'm looking for the cheapest hires. It's about, I'm looking for the hires that will give me the most value. Because the truth of the matter is that a cheap hire is not necessarily the best hire. Let me give a very practical example. Let's say we're hiring people who take phone calls, customer service, And I say, look, one person is collecting 10K, the other person is collecting 20K. The 10K person is cheaper. Should I just pay 10K? But you need to also look at what results they're going to give you. If I have a 20K person who is going to upsell my products, and if the person upsells my products, I'm going to sell more and make more money. At the end of the day, I end up making more than the extra 10K spent. So it's more, I don't want to use the word scientific, but I guess I'm going to have to, than just saying, look, I'm pricing crayfish in the market. I'm going to take the cheaper person because I want to spend less. So it's basically everything that we do, all the thinking that comes into building a system that ensures that you have people that will add value to the organization. And when you have those people, you're also making sure that you value them properly so that they stay. Because if you do all the work in hiring these people, you need to also make sure that your system, that is apart from the cash, the engagement, the benefits, all of that, make sure that number one, they stay. And number two, they stay and add value, because people can stay and not do anything for you. That's the truth. But you want people to stay and to be engaged, to be connected to your organization enough that they are productive, because that is the only way that you can get that value out of them that you're paying for. So that's basically what rewards management tells us about. So what we're trying to do is, how do we do rewards right? So what's an efficient system? What does an efficient system look like? The first part is connected to business objectives and values. What does that mean? If, for instance, for me, I'm running a business and I value loyalty. I like people who are loyal to me. I like people who have been with me for years. That means that if I'm building a reward system, I need to build a reward system that rewards that loyalty. So when you see things like long service award programs, when you see things like increases based on tenure, those are the elements that reward loyalty, for instance. If I'm a performance rewarder, look, I don't care how long you've spent. If somebody has done 3 months work and the person has sold XYZ, I'm going to pay the person even more than the person that's been here for 10 years. So at the end of the day, what your business marks or indicates or determines as a priority is what you should pay for, is what you should prioritize when you're designing your reward systems. So that's why you don't have a one size fits all. Whatever your organization is, you need to determine what is important to us. What are the things that we value? And it is those things that we value that we are going to reward. The other thing is linked to employee demographics. I like examples. Examples are really practical. So let's assume that I have 20 employees. I have 20 people. And out of those 20 people, I have 18 men and 2 women. And the 2 women I have are 50. And I decide that, oh, you know what? I'm going to put a creche in my office because everybody has a creche. Have I not wasted my money? Because I've invested in the room, the design, the equipment, child carers, and all of that, and nobody is using it. Why is nobody using it? In the environment that we are, men are not primary child caregivers, unfortunately, but that's the reality. So what that means is that I have created a room or a space or a benefit, because that's what people call it. I've created a benefit that is useless to my employee demographic. I've created a benefit that nobody cares about. Now, if I'm talking about myself as a reward manager now, say, we have a creche in my office, of course. What do you mean? We're current, we're moving with the times. But is it useful? If you talk to my employees, they're like, these people are just wasting money. They haven't done anything for me. So they haven't valued me. So you need to consider your employee demographics, not just gender, even age. You find that, when you talk about generations, baby boomers, Generation X's, millennials, Gen Z's, Gen Z's are those really young guys these days. And really, what do they need? They need one small corner to set up their laptops, their slick laptops and their slick devices and do their work. They don't want to have to enter traffic and come to work. So you need to say, okay, for this kind of people, I need to create maybe some flexi working strategies. Versus, let's say you hire a CEO who is a baby boomer. You have to make sure that his office is, really looking good. You have to make sure that, okay, the perks he has to be registered at maybe a Koi club, or, So you need to think of the realities of the class or the type of employees that you have in designing your reward system. The other thing is it needs to be sustainable. If I decide that I'm going to pay X today, I need to know that all things being equal, I can pay X for as long a period as I want to. Not that I pick something and say, oh, I'm going to give this benefits today, and 2 months later, I can't afford it. And I say, oh, we're stopping it. You're disengaging your employees. So design reward systems that you can sustain as a business. Be as realistic with yourself as business owners, and because really, we are business owners. Even if it's not your company, you're the one that is responsible for designing this thing. It's your business. You need to also ensure it's competitive. What does that mean? If you have engaged employees that you value and that can add value to your organization, you also want to retain them. If you do not create reward systems that compete with the industry around you, they will take your good stuff away. That's the truth. They will take your good stuff away. So you need to make sure that you are always aware of what's going on in the industry around you. You network properly, you are conscious of what's going on, and you are able to react. So that's one thing I missed, agile, but I'll talk about it later. Next thing is simple. Look, at the end of the day, nobody wants stress. Nobody wants a bonus system that you say, oh, I have to do dy dx and calculate the coefficient of one thing to excuse me. Why are you stressed? Let your employees be able to calculate their bonuses. Let people be able to say, oh, if I do extra 2 days, I can get extra 10 naira off the top of their heads. So that if it's that 10 naira that's going to motivate them, they figured it out quickly. But if you have a system that the employee who is earning it cannot even figure out how you come about it, how is the employee able to work harder for it? So it needs to be simple. And the last part is it needs to be flexible. COVID has taught us a lot of things, that's the truth. And in the past couple of months, we've had to work from home, we've had to do all sorts of things that we didn't do before and that we're not able to do before. Your reward system should also be able to react to those things. Your reward system needs to also be able to say, look, if, for instance, this going to work is not working anymore, and we are saying, oh, we're rewarding physical presence in the office, how do we reward it now? So you need to be, that was what I was talking about, agile as well, ready to change as quickly as possible, ready to rethink things, ready to, if employee realities change, you need to say, okay, how do we adjust this reward structure so that it's still valid, it's still useful, and it still gives value to the employee, value to the employer at every given time. So these characteristics, why? What's the point? I've kind of talked about all of this already. You want to attract the best. Look, why business to make money? Everybody's in business to make money. If you want to make money, you have to have the best people. There's no two ways about it. And the best people are not cheap. So what do you want to do? You want to attract them and you want to retain them. You want them to come and you want them to stay. So what do you do to ensure that they come and stay? The first thing is to pay them well. And the next thing is to keep rewarding them well. I try not to use pay because rewards is not just cash. You need to keep rewarding them well so that they want to come and then they want to stay, and then they not only want to stay, they want to stay and add value. Because the worst set of employees you can have is employees that are not living and they are not working. So they are just there, but they are there like dead weights. They are not adding any value. They are not pushing. They are not catching your vision. They are not taking the next step to make changes in the business. They are not agile. Just pay me at the end of the month. When you pay me, I will manage the money. I'll be coming. I'll resume and close when it's closing time. Give you the bare minimum at every given time. So you need to make sure that you keep your employees engaged. It's not just to keep them. It improves employer brand. If I ask you now what companies you want to work for, even if we say, oh, rewards are personal, not everybody knows everybody's, but the companies that are paying well, we all know. And even as jokes, we say, oh, I want to go there, I want to go here. It's their brand, it's their EVP is the value proposition. That's part of what they have used to boost themselves. Say, look, these are the things that we do for the employees that we have. So it improves that for your organization. People would always say, if you go to this company, if you see the benefits that they have, these things improve your brand as employers and improve productivity. I've said it. If you are rewarding me well, I won't have to think about certain things. And if I'm not thinking about those things, I'm thinking about your work. If, for instance, you give me, let's say, 24/7 electricity in my house as my employer, I'm not looking for petrol. I'm not looking for how to start my generator because, they've given me lights. I will work. What am I looking for? I'm not thinking about anything. When everybody's complaining about fuel scarcity, I'm not even related to what you are saying because it's been sorted. So, fuel is an extreme, but you understand what I'm saying. If I can give you everything that would normally distract you as much as within my power as a business, minimize distractions, employees are generally more likely to focus on what we need them to focus on. And then value for money. I was talking about the creche example. If I've invested 2 million, 3 million in a creche or in a gym or in all of these things, or I even do staff boss for remote workers, what have I done? I've wasted my money. So I need to make sure that if I'm investing in this thing, if I'm investing in this creche, I know that I will have employees that will use it. That doesn't mean, for instance, that I will not provide the creche. But maybe if I have only 2 employees, what I might need to do is pay for their creche as opposed to build my own to cost me less. So when your reward system is efficient, you are not scrapping solutions because they are not useful to the majority of your demographic. You're saying this is the solution. I can still provide the solution for these few people. It will have impact without incurring too much cost for my business. So you ensure that I give the value to the employee, but I am not overburdening the business with unnecessary costs that will not be useful at the end of the day. So what's the best way to reward employees? From all of this I've said, it's really, really up to the business. Considering all the schemes, all the characteristics and all the things that I've discussed, it's up to the business. It's up to the business what they value. It's up to the business what resources they want. It's up to the business what they want to come out of those resources. It's up to the business what type of productivity they expect from the employees. It's really up to you. How are you going to mix it? Am I only going to pay a clean wage, just cash? I don't want to deal with the stress of administering benefits. I'm just going to give cash. That's fine. It's okay. I'm just going to focus more on benefits and give people perks like club membership, free petrol, things like that, just to make them feel good. It's up to you. Or you say, look, I'm running a bonus structure. I don't have a clean flat wage, but I'm running sales, and it is as they sell that I will pay them because I want to motivate their performance. And so I'm going to pay heavy bonuses and maybe not so much cash. It's fine. What's important is it works for the business, number one. It works for the employees that you want to retain. That's number two. So once those two factors are met, you can then determine what your reward mix is going to be. Is it going to be cash? Is it going to be perks? Some people do stock options. Is not very popular, but it's done. Let me tell you, see, stock options are very motivating. If you give me stock and you say, look, be productive, this number of units of stock, I will be watching the share price like I don't have anything I'm doing my time again. Because I know that as that share price increases, the money that comes to me increases. But what you have also done is you have not given me immediate cash. What you've done is you've motivated me for a long term. So it's a retention strategy. I don't want to lose this person. So I'm going to make this person a co-owner in my business, either directly or indirectly. Sometimes you don't want to actually make them co-owner. So you give phantom stock. So I'm not giving you the stock per se. I'm just giving you the value of this number of units. So that as those units increase, your reward increases. So everything that I do will be to make sure that those stock units, the value of that stock increases, because I know that if it increases, it benefits me. So it's also a reward strategy. Bonuses, I've talked about it. Career management, that's not a kobo. Not everybody is motivated by money. I'm sure we're all familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We're familiar with certain people that money is no longer their problem. But I want to be able to say within 6 months, these are the kind of things that my business did to develop me. Within 6 months, my line manager has conversations with me about the next step in my career, the next role for me, what's next with regards to training and learning and development, what's next with regards to rotations. This is the mentor or coach that matters. That's all some people need, So again, that's why I said, what do your employees need? The employees you want to retain, what do they need? So for some people, it's just career management. I'm okay with any money, don't worry. But just be training me, developing me, exposing me to new things, telling me, look, these are the gaps you have. Once you can close these gaps, this is the next job for you. You are seeing it. There's no story. Certain people will stay in certain organizations forever if you can just keep tracking and pushing their career along the lines that they want. For some people, it's just work-life balance. I want to be able to say, oh, you know what? I have my downtime. I want to have flexi time. I want to be able to work from home. I want to be able to work 4 days instead of 5 days a week. I want to be so at the end of the day, there's so much that you can do with rewards. Recognition, see, just clap for me. Just tell me I achieved XYZ today, no downtime. So we're going to recognize this person by framing their picture and putting it in the reception. Some people, that's all you need. That is all you need. So there's so much that you can do to engage employees. There's so much you can do to keep employees retained. There's so much you can do to keep employees in your business, willing to work for you, willing to be there, willing to be a part of your business, willing to add value. It's endless. The important thing is for you to determine this is the mix that works for us, business, employees. Once I can deliver that mix, I will keep employees engaged. And once employees are engaged, business goals are achieved. So it's also important for you to measure, evaluate. This system that I built, is it achieving the results I wanted? This bonus scheme that I have, is productivity actually going up? If it is not, let's go back to the drawing board. What did I get wrong? I designed a bonus scheme that every time sales people sell X, the business makes Y, but the business is not making Y and I'm paying bonuses. I've wasted money. So come back to the drawing board. What is wrong with my design? What is wrong with my bonus scheme? What is wrong with my pay structure? How can I adjust it? Because once you have a pay structure that is not delivering business goals, you are wasting your time, you are wasting the business's time, and you are wasting the business's results. At the end of the day, I hope that everything that I have said is basically value value for the employee, value for the business, value for everybody. And the best way to achieve this is to sit down, study your business goals, your business objectives, the employee goals, what they want, and it's your valued employees. Which employees do I want to keep here? Which employees are giving me returns? What do they need? What do they want? What appeals to them? And then use that to build your design. If you can do that and evaluate, that's your efficient reward system. So yeah, thank you very much. That's everything I wanted to say. I'm open to questions, comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lola.
Thank you very much, Koinsola. That was very, very, I mean, I got to learn a lot of new things about reward, efficient reward management. So I'm going to be opening the floor, for questions. I have, a couple of questions myself. So before I've asked everyone to type in their questions in the chat box. Oops, am I still online? Oh my God. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Lola.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I was saying I have a couple of questions. So I've asked everyone to type in their questions in the chat box. So my first question is, you've talked about how important it is to understand your people, your demographics, are they the Gen X, are they the baby bloomers and all that? So, so like they say, your reward system and management may be the reason for high staff turnover. So you see a lot of companies, recording high staff turnover all the time, and they may even have problems attracting and retaining top talents and all that. So can you tell us, more problems an organization can face when efficient reward strategies are not in place? So what are some of the problems that they can also face apart from not being able to retain their talents, high staff turnover, and all that? I know you mentioned that, there's what you call absenteeism. They are there, but actually they are not there. So what are the other problems, that companies, can face?
With regards to not having a good reward system, you might also face things like employees taking advantage of the business to start to make money for themselves. If you don't meet my needs, generally you find that people find a way to meet their needs. So you probably would have to deal with that. Even little things like distractions with regards to, how can I make money out of the business today, even if it's to increase the price of this or inflate that, or even something as small as my sales team focusing more on their side hustle than whatever it is that I'm supposed to do. So I think actually the biggest thing is not even the attrition or the inability to attract. The biggest thing is the dead weight, really, because look, there's no work. People might not go. They will stay with you and they will frustrate you. So it's important really to make sure that you're connected to your people at all times, engaging them and making sure that the systems that you build, HR systems generally, not even just reward, are useful to them and add value to them.
Okay, fantastic. My second question. So, Koinsola, from experience, what are the basic principles that result in the successful alignment of total rewards and total pay with business strategy? So what are those principles that result in a successful alignment between the two?
Okay, so the first thing, of course, we talked a lot about what the strategy is. So first of all, you need to understand the strategy. You need to be able to say, okay, this is exactly where we are going. And generally, your business strategy should be in HR, we call them SMART objectives. They need to be very clear. We want to start to sell, we want to double our revenue in XYZ period, and we want to double it by doing XYZ. So as specific as possible, once you can pick the elements of that strategy and pick also the values, because the other thing with a strategy is that you also want to know how you do those things. So I want to make sure that I do it, but in doing it, I want to make sure that these attitudes and attributes are the things that I want to see. So once those things are what defines success for your organization. And so what you want to do, it's motivation theories, what you want to do is identify those things that determine success in the organization, number one. And number two, once you see those behaviors, find a way to ensure that those behaviors are recognized and those behaviors are reinforced. Because what you reward is what people will do again. Every time that you reward something, people will keep doing it. It's simple motivation. So once you have identified those factors, you say, okay, great. What I want to see, for instance, is a safety culture. Let's pick that as an example. That's what I want to see. So the role of reward management is, what initiatives can I create that will drive this safety culture? So for instance, I say we have a bonus scheme, but you see this bonus scheme, every time that we have a lost time incident in this factory or in this site, every single time we have a lost time incident or every single time we have a fatal incident, this bonus will reduce by 50% for all employees. What that means is that I have now identified, this is what I want to see. And this is what you will get if I see what I want to see. I'll be very careful. Because you have now hit me where it counts. You have hit my money.
Yeah.
So you make employees take ownership by, number one, communicating with them, letting them understand what we want to see, and also letting them know how it impacts them. So again, it might not just be money. It might be something as basic as, look, if you get hurt, you are not able to provide for your family. So you have appealed to me and my sense of responsibility by saying that I need to be careful. But then again, we now add the reward mix to it to kind of tighten that communication and say, look, apart from just telling you need to be careful for yourself, for your family, for all of that, you also need to be careful for your money. So once you have identified what you want to reward, you then identify how you want to reward it. Bonuses. Some people will say, oh, look, I can't do bonuses, but if we have 0 lost time incidences in 365 days, everybody gets to go to dinner, lunch, movies. So there are so many different initiatives that you can tie to those things that you want to see to get the results that you want.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question. I've heard you say, that, okay, what's important to your business when you are creating, efficient reward strategies? What do you value? What's important to you, as a business owner or as an organization? But also on the flip side, you need to also understand, that you need to carry your people along as well. What is important to them? What will make them happy? What do they really want the most? And so I just want us to, I just want you to talk more about the dangers of not carrying your people along, because, I don't know if I can say this. Some organizations really don't care. They reward what they want to reward. So, but I know that there are dangers in not really getting to know what is important to an organization, to your staff or to your people. So what are those dangers in not actually carrying your people along? And how do you really carry them along? What is the process in actually getting to know what is important to them, as a people, or each and every, because you get different mix. It's not all companies that you have particularly, a particular set of people working. There's a mix. There's some organizations that is a mix. So what process do you undergo to actually get that information and to make strategies for implementing, reward system?
A lot of conversations, a lot of you also need to think about your demographics and how they fit them to talk to you. Some people also do a lot of, like I said, you have to also keep your ears on the ground. What's going on within your industry, because industry specific changes and industry specific regulations are also important. You need to know that every single company in this industry is now doing flexible working. We are the only ones that are working 8 to 5 in the office. So all of these things that go on around would provide you enough employee data to be able to say, oh, this is what my employees want, this is what my employees need, and this is the best way for me to provide it. But again, I always insist. Okay, you said something about business leaders not being interested in it. I just have to effectively. I think that we will not that one. When you at the end of the day, the language of the if I'm able to say, look, this hire may be more expensive, but this is the potential additional value in naira that this hire is going to pay. This bonus that I'm about to pay might look like you are spending money now, but this is how it's going to improve the bottom line down the line. So if we can speak the language of business to business owners, of course, you also have to look at
Okay, we can't hear you. Probably you should speak up. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I was going to say that you're not, I thought it was from my end, but yeah, I missed a lot of what you said, and I think a lot of people also missed a lot. We can't hear you. We can't see. Did you? Wow. We can't hear you. We still can't hear you, but we can see you, but we can't hear. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you.
Still can't hear you.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes. We can hear you now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was answering the question.
Wow.
That
I'm not sure how much. Yeah, I'm not sure how much we that. I didn't really get much.
Okay, so let me just take the answer again, if that helps. You were asking me about, we're talking about how to connect the business, how to, first of all, the business owners don't pay attention to what the employees want, and how to get them, how to also get input from the employees. So what I said is that with regards to the employees, what do we focus on? So it depends on the kind of, some organizations do employee opinion polls, where you have questions that you ask around what motivates the employee, what they want to see, what they are not seeing that they would like to see, what they want to see, what they are seeing that they want to continue. Some organizations are a bit more informal, so they have these conversations that focus group sessions, maybe during meetings and things like that. You have exit interviews. When you lose employees, you should also ask them, why are you leaving? What should we do better? what are we doing that you'd like to see. And interviews for employees who are also still in the business. Stay interviews, people call it. Why are you still here? You know, what is engaging you? What is also disengaging? What don't you like to see? So all of these conversations that you have with employees, as employee groups, as individuals, with anonymous surveys and co, should build your data bank of what employees want. The other part of it was, how do you get the business to key into that? And I said, we need to start to speak the language of the business. We need to start to say, look, employees, when they come in, and I was saying that a lot of us in HR, we tend to rely on technical terms, and business owners don't understand that. What they understand is Naira and Kobo. So I need to be able to say, look, if I'm going to spend this extra on this person, this is additional revenue in Naira and Kobo that this person is going to bring to me. If I'm going to spend this much on bonuses, this is additional revenue that this is going to bring to me. If I'm going to spend this much on a benefit or an HMO or whatever, this is how much value I'm going to get from it. So let us try to start to speak to business owners in the language that they understand. That's one. And then I said, we also should make sure that we're careful with our credibility, because if I tell you you're going to make this much extra and you don't make it, and you come to me with another initiative, I will chase you out. So you need to also, as much as possible, underpromise, over-deliver, build your credibility, and then from there, you should be able to begin to push more creative initiatives. Start small. Once you can get buy-in with small ones, push it, and then with that, you can build credibility and start to build into bigger things.
Thank you very, very much. So we have to move on. Very question I want to take is from I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this, but this Shileola, I believe, Akimbowale. Okay, so she's asking, what are the best approaches for organization to develop a staff performance?
Well, I'm losing you.
Strategy. Okay,
we can't hear you.
Again, what are the best approaches strategy? Can you hear me now?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, but I think you're fine now. So please take the question again.
Okay. So I said, she's asking, what are the best approaches for an organization to use in developing a staff performance incentive strategy?
Okay, great, thanks. So the first thing is, again, the good thing about what the business wants to reward is that's how you can sell it to employers. To say, look, for instance, you're selling a product. Let's say I am somebody who manufactures laptops, for instance, and sells them. And I'm able to say, okay, if we can sell 100 laptops, which is our target for the year, we would make $1 billion. Do you understand? Out of the $1 billion profit, I want to take, let's say, 5% to reward employees. So what we're saying basically is, it is that question that we are now going to build into each employee's objective. So now, all of us have to make sure that we sell 100 laptops. What does that mean? The people who are manufacturing have to manufacture the laptops. Number two, the people who are checking it to make sure that quality-wise, the laptops are ready to be sold. And so at the end of the day, every single part of your business should be able to key into that objective. Even the person who is functioning as raising sales orders needs to make sure that I'm raising the sales orders accurately so that the people who are pushing the product out can sell it. For people who are maintaining, need to make sure that I fix this thing on time so that more people can buy it, because now they know that my product is good to use. So you need to create objectives that are, first of all, relevant to the business for each employee, relevant to whatever the business objective is. And then you need to make sure that those objectives can be measured. I want to be able to say that, okay, in this case, we're measuring it in selling 100 laptops. So we want to make sure that those objectives can be measured. If my job is to raise sales orders, I'm raising accurate sales orders. If my job is quality assurance, I'm making sure that there are no returns when we have pushed out products. So the objectives must be, you must be able to measure them. And then once you do that, you now say, okay, based on these objectives, when we do an appraisal, we're able to say, oh, the quality person had only, so for instance, my objective on quality assurance is to ensure that I have maybe less than 2% return for the year. So at the end of the year, I'm able to measure how many returns did we have. We had 1% returns. That means that I achieved my objective. You understand? So you must be able to measure those objectives. And at the end of the day, when those objectives are measured, you're able to now say, okay, based on this score, this person has earned X% of the pot or the target that the person had. So for instance, if my cap was 2% and I ended up having 0, I didn't have any form of return. My bonus should be based on that formula or calculation. Versus if I ended up with 1%, versus if I ended up with 3% more than what was expected of me, should I get a bonus? No, or maybe half or something. So you need to determine what parameters would apply to each achievement bucket or each achievement area at the end of the day. So once you determine that, if you remember during the talk, I said that it needs to be simple. If it's not simple, it should be straightforward. This is your target bonus. Let's say my target bonus is 20% of my base pay. And if at the end of the day, I achieve 100%, I get 100% of the target bonus. If I achieve 80% of my objectives, I get 80% of the target bonus. It should be so simple that as I am working in the course of the year, I'm able to say, okay, I'm on track. I will get 100% of my bonus at the end of the year. But if I have to do almighty formula to get my bonus, if it's too stressful, I beg free bonus, I'll manage my salary. So you need to make sure that the calculation is simple, employees can relate to it, business owners can also relate to it, and they are not taken out of their, it doesn't act as cost to company, it's from profit or from revenue that we're paying, so that it's tied to the business making money, and employees can then key in to being a part of the business making money because now it impacts them as well. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Okay, moving on very, very quickly. Our time is, really fast spent. Okay, so this is from Folake. She's asking if you can speak on reward strategies that can be implemented in the creative space, also considering the fact that the employees involved are millennials. So she's like asking what strategy you can use for the millennials, in the creative space. They are a unique set of people. So
So
yes.
at the end of the day,
So what strategies can be implemented?
So first of all, again, remember what I said about millennials. They like to work flexibly. They don't like to be tied into hours or offices. So one of the things you have to do is create project-based work for them. So deliver this project and you get X, rather than come to work every day for 30 days and you get X. So that if they want to work from 12 midnight to 5 a.m., that's their problem. If they want to work 8 to 5, that's their problem. It's just that I want to see this project by this time. That's one of the things that I find works for this category of people. The other thing for them is that you find that they're not really very benefit-minded. So for instance, you are not saying if you have at a high level, you're not saying they don't want a car. Give me the money for the car. They want the money. They want to be able to decide what they want. They don't want you to say it is only this type of phone that we give an organization. Give me the money for the phone. Let me go and buy my iPhone. So your benefit scheme needs to have the option, and that takes me to one of the things that Lola mentioned when she was saying that you don't have only one demographic in your organization. So I need to be able to say, if I'm giving cars, for instance, I can give you a car or I can give you a car option. That way I have satisfied the various demographics that I have. It's still the same benefit, but I'm now giving the money option if you want the money. If you want if you're the generation that wants the status and that's what you want everybody to see, it's great, fine. You can also have that. So you need to, they prefer to make their own choices. They don't want to have the branded company car, for instance. I don't want it. I'm not interested. Give me the money. Let me go and buy what I like, what I want to drive, or what I want to have, or what device I need. They're very tech-minded. So you need to also make sure that your whatever you're doing, even as something as simple as not even the money, the reward system. Are they able to access their pay slips? Are they able to access their reward statements online as quickly as possible? Can they immediately see what their bonus was last year? So how quickly can they access information? So there are a lot of things that might not even be cash, because maybe you don't have that much cash flow and so you can't do so much, that you can use to engage them and keep them a part of the business. A lot of communication also works for them because they like to they're very open and they like to always know what's going on. I need to be able to explain to them. They are the why generation. Why? Like, and it must make sense. If it doesn't make sense, just leave it because they will question you. So a lot of the time, again, with creative, bottom line is making money. How does your business make money? That was the first question you should ask. Once you can answer that, how does your business make money question, you can then build strategies around it.
All right. So the key is being flexible when dealing with them. You can't put them in a straight jacket and say, okay, this is how it's going to be. Okay, fantastic. Moving on. From Happiness, what are the prerequisites for rewarding the best staff of the year in an organization?
There's no textbook. There's no textbook, really. It's up to your organization. So again, some organizations don't have that much cash flow to do cash things. Some organizations, remember everything I talked about with regards to the characteristics of an effective system. So what works for your employees? What are the things that your employees? Some people, all they need is, let me go for dinner with the MD, for instance. The recognition of that is enough. For some, give me a big cash bonus. For some, give me stock. So at the end of the day, I can't determine that for you. Your business will determine that based on what works for them and your employees and what the business can afford them.
Okay, fantastic. From Chidi, how do you apportion the bonus to all staff, considering the fact that some staff don't have direct impacts to revenue generation and performance? Did you get that?
Yes, I did. So the thing is, yes, not all employees have direct impact, but everybody should have some form of impact. So at the end of the day, what might happen is that for the people with direct impact, their targets or their pot might be bigger in the sense that what they can earn. So let's say you're using 5% of base salary for the non-direct and you're using 30% of base salary for the direct. So basically you're giving a bigger pot to your direct. You can't do that. But there is no way. So let me give an example. Let's say that I'm selling flour. So let's say I'm selling flour and I'm sitting and working in HR. So you can imply that I'm not direct. But at the end of the day, my role is also to give the sales team the best resources to deliver that result. So what is my recruitment turnaround time? Do they sit and wait with vacant positions for an extended period? Because if they have vacant positions for an extended period, those areas are not covered. Sales are not coming in those areas and it's impacting our revenue. So I'm direct now, am I not? Or the person who is in finance, who is just doing payroll. If I don't pay those people on the field, they are not motivated or engaged. If they are not motivated or engaged, they won't work. Or they won't work the way that I want them to work. So I need them not to be thinking about when salary will come. I need them to know for sure that on this particular day of the month, my salary is going to come in because the payroll person is doing their job. And so I can concentrate on doing my job. So at the end of the day, if you cannot find the link, look, even if your office assistant, if your office assistant does not take a document from office A, it throws document or an invoice from office A to office B on time, and the voucher or the sales document is not raised and the customer cannot take products out, there's a problem because that's impacted revenue. If you have a role that you cannot link to your business performance, then that role shouldn't exist. That's the truth. So it's now for you to graduate to say, okay, fine, my field guys or my field people, this is the pot I will use for them. But again, if the production people don't give quality products, so your field people will be able to sell, no. So we need to also be conscious of the fact that every single role is important and we need to make sure that we value them appropriately. I hope you answered the question.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Yeah, fantastic, Queen Sola. We really want to thank you very much for spending this time with us today. Lillian wants to know if we are going to get, if they are going to get a recording. Yes, the recording of this session will be sent to everybody after the session. I mean, on or before the close of business tomorrow, everyone should get the recording. And also, we are going to be adding everyone to our WhatsApp group called the Efficiency Factory. So when you hear, you know, when you see you being added, you know, to a group, just know it's from us. That's for those that are not already part of the group already, because I know a lot of people, you know, are always keeping this date with us. Thank you very, very much, Koinsola, once again. Thank you for spending this time for us. We're really eye-opening, and we got a lot of feedbacks, you know, from everyone. It was fantastic. You'll also get the chat messages, Koinsola, so that you can, I'm sure you may want to know the feedback and all that. So it was a fantastic one. So thank you very much for this time. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate it. So expect to hear from us again, and please mark your diaries. The Efficiency Factory happens every second Thursday, you know, in on every month. So the next one will be happening November, second Thursday. Thank you very much once again. So I want you all to unmute your mics. Please thank Koinsola for taking time out of our busy schedule to be with us.
Thank you, Koinsola.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kay.
For taking time out of the busy schedule to listen to me.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Kay.
you, Koinsola. We appreciate. God bless you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Koinsola.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. But feel free to stay if you really, maybe you know, you've seen someone that you know, feel free to stay behind if you want to, but the session has officially closed. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Koinsola.